Our next guest is the director and the star of a new highly acclaimed documentary entitled Super Size Me. It opens tomorrow in selected cities. Please say hello to Morgan Spurlock. Now, before we talk about the film, I want to mention that you recently received the award as Best Director from the Sundance Film Festival for this effort. Nice going. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is the documentary.
Yeah.
And it's one of those ideas when you hear it, you think, oh, yeah, that's the perfect idea to pursue. Tell people the genesis of this idea.
Yeah, well, it was kind of, it was spurned by the girls who sued McDonald's, you know, because a couple years ago you couldn't open a newspaper, read a magazine without people, you know, talking about the obesity epidemic in America. And everybody always talked about fast food and blaming fast food. And I said, wow, we're going to blame companies now for selling us food that we buy, that we eat? But then I heard a spokesman for McDonald's. I was sitting on my mom's couch in Beckley, West Virginia, you know, Thanksgiving Day, 2002, the best day to get an idea like this, when you know, a spokesman for McDonald's came on TV and started talking about the lawsuits, and he said, you can't link our food to these girls being sick. You can't link our food to these girls being obese. Our food is healthy, it's nutritious, it's good for you. And so, yeah, so the light went on, and I said, well, if it's that good for me, I should be able to eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 30 days straight with no side effects, right?
Now, in the suit, though, the girls suing did not win the suit.
They did not.
And wasn't it stated somewhere in the documentation that McDonald's knows or suggested or advertised that the food was handled in such a way to make it less than...
Yeah, in the court documents, one of the things they said, and this is in the movie, that any processing their foods undergo serves to make them more harmful than unprocessed foods.
Yeah, so they actually sort of admitted to that.
Yeah.
Now, to me, when you had all 3 meals at McDonald's,
I did.
Everything to eat and drink, including water.
Including water, yeah.
And you had to have at least each item from the menu.
A couple times, yeah. Usually at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no exercise to speak of.
Yeah, well, I wasn't exercising more than the average American. Like 60% of Americans don't exercise at all. So I wasn't exercising, but I was still walking.
Right.
And so the average American walks, you know, less than 2 miles a day.
Yeah. Now, to me, as I'm watching the movie, I'm thinking, I know how this is going to end. I mean, it comes as no...
Yeah.
It comes as no surprise to me that you gained like 25 pounds and your cholesterol went up.
Yeah.
I mean, what have we learned here other than the obvious?
Well, but I think it's the other impact that I had on my body. Apart from my cholesterol going up, you know, my liver just completely filled with fat over the course of this. Yeah, which was really scary, you know. And so yeah, it was filled with fat. The doctor said I was en route to giving myself non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, which could lead to, like, you know, a fatty liver, a hardened liver, or cirrhosis, you know, much like an alcoholic would get.
Wow.
Yeah. So by day 21, they were all saying, "Listen, stop. You know, we don't know what's going to happen to you." Yeah. Yeah.
And did you consider giving it up?
I did, you know, like they told me to stop. I called, you know, my mom, my dad, friends of friends, other doctor friends, and they all said to stop. And then, you know, I called my oldest brother, Craig, who still lives in Beckley, the beacon of wisdom that he's always been in my life, you know, both good and bad. You know, the kind of brother who's like, no, go ahead, jump off the roof, it'll be funny. You know? So I called him up and I told him what the doctor said, and he said to me, you know, in his great accent, he goes, "Morgan, people eat this crap their whole lives." Hold on. You really think it's going to kill you in 9 more days? And I said, that's the most logical thing I've heard yet. No, I'm going to keep going.
And you, in the beginning, you felt bad early on, and then you got to a point where you didn't feel quite so bad. And was that your body just adjusting to this?
Yeah, I think my body was just really starting to adapt, you know, to all the fat, the sugar, the caffeine.
Yeah.
You know, because I would get crazy headaches, like massive headaches. You know, the minute I would start eating, they go away.
Right.
Which that's it's not good.
In the film, we meet a guy who has eaten close to 20,000 Big Macs in his life.
Don Gorski.
And he's rail thin and seems to be just fine.
Yeah.
So how do you explain what it did to you? How do you explain what it didn't do to him?
Well, Don Gorski, that's all he eats. Like 90% of his solid food diet since 1972 has been Big Macs. Yeah. So he'll eat like 2 Big Macs a day. That's like 1,200 calories, and he'll have like a couple Cokes. So he's not even taking in like 1,800 calories a day, and he's taller than me, and the guy's a prison guard. So he's burning calories all day long. Yeah.
So what can we learn by the 2 comparative studies here?
Yeah. I think that you should probably watch how many Big Macs you eat would be my first suggestion.
Yeah, but he seems to be doing just fine.
Maybe you should go somewhere in the middle. Maybe like 10,000 Big Macs would be all right. You know, I don't know.
And during the whole thing, did you have a relationship with McDonald's? Did they know what you were doing?
Yeah, McDonald's didn't really want to talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But people actually do live kind of like this, don't they?
They do, yeah, a lot of people, a lot of Americans. 1 out of every 4 Americans eats fast food every day.
Yeah. But like you say, it's not strictly speaking about McDonald's. I mean, if you had just decided that I'm going to have 3 meals a day for 1 month of nothing but pudding, likely the same results would have happened,
yeah,
right?
You know, I don't go into pudding land, and there's not a sign that says, you know, get the pudding value meal. You know, so it's like, you know, there's a difference.
You feel that you're being coerced when you get in there, and you would only accept the supersizing or ask for supersizing if it was offered. Is that correct?
If they are correct.
Yeah. And what exactly is the supersize? What does that mean?
That's like this fantastic barrel of soda that they have there. It's like a supersized Coke is 42 ounces of soda. You know, that's 3.5 cans of soda. Nobody needs to be drinking 3.5 cans of soda a day. Nobody, you know.
So when you started, you weighed, was it 186?
I weighed 185.5 pounds. Yeah.
And at the end of the 30-day period, you weighed?
210.
210.
Yeah.
And I was right about the cholesterol. It went from somewhere like 160.
It went from 165 to 230.
230. Wow.
Yeah, 65 points.
And if you had continued on this, how much longer do you think you could have lived with that?
That's a good question. Yeah. I don't know. Not much longer, I don't think.
There's also an interesting scene early on where you're still kind of acclimating to your new diet, and you're eating in your car.
Yeah.
And you start sweating, and the next thing you know, you get your head out the window and you're heaving your guts up.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
Yeah, that's, you know, your body, you got to listen to your body. My body early on was saying, don't do it, man. don't do it. It's like, you know.
And you look great now.
Yeah.
How did you get the weight off? Was it as easy as putting it on?
No, it was a lot harder taking it. It took me about 14 months to take it off.
Really?
Yeah, and my girlfriend who's in the film, she's a vegan chef. You know? So yeah. So right after I got off the diet, she put me on like a detox diet to kind of clean me out, and it took about 8 weeks for all my body functions to come back to normal. But 14 months to lose all the weight.
Did you find that you were missing the McDonald's diet?
Oh my gosh! Even to this day, if I smell a Big Mac, my mouth starts watering, and I'm just like, oh, it's there. And I'm just like, well, maybe just one bite. You know? But
let's look at a scene here from Super Size Me, and it opens in selected cities tomorrow, right?
Correct.
You know what we're going to look at, Morgan?
Yeah, this is my first weigh-in, and this is like after 5 days in, and you know, when I started, I weighed 185.5 pounds.
Okay, let's take a look.
It was 180.
And the fun is just beginning there. Well, it's a wonderful idea and a fascinating film. Did you read the book Fast Food Nation?
It's a great book.
Yeah, it's sort of like a nice companion piece to that.
It is, yeah. It's a nice little tag.
Well, good luck to you, and a pleasure having you here. Morgan Spurlock, ladies and gentlemen, the director, Super Size Me. We'll be right back, everybody.